I'd like to welcome you all to a brand new career of mine here on FIFA 15. I will be taking charge of Shrewsbury Town, and you guys, there's been plenty of you requesting that I do a lower league team, and I'm happy to do it because, you know, I kind of follow Shrewsbury from time to time, see what they're up to, and they do find themselves in League 2, unfortunately. They were in League 1 last year. They did get relegated, which was kind of sad to see. But now they've got a challenge on their hands to get promoted into League 1, get into the Championship. Obviously, the main thing that all teams want to be doing is playing in the Premier League. And that's my main aim, to get Shrewsbury to the Premier League, to get them Champions League football as well. Oh man, it's going to be such a huge challenge. But it's one I'm seriously going to be relishing because I'm so excited to get the series off the ground. I hope you guys are going to be sticking with me throughout as well with your fantastic and constant support. I really couldn't have asked for better subscribers. You're all amazing. So anyway, Shrewsbury Town. Now, before I go any further, this series I'm just going to be doing post-commentary for each episode. But don't worry, there will probably be episodes in there as well where I'll be adding my live reactions to big games such as a playoff final, or the Johnson's Paint Trophy, the Capital One Cup, the FA Cup, and so on. So yes, I'll definitely be adding my live commentary to games like that, so do not worry. But for the rest of it though, it's just going to be post-commentary. I already do live commentary with my other career mode series with Manchester United. If you haven't seen that, then be sure to head on over there and check that out. So enough of the long introduction. Here is the Shrewsbury Town team. These are the players that I will have at my disposal throughout this career. I like to think I'm well versed with the players because I keep a beady eye on Shrewsbury Town in real life and see how they're getting on in the league. So I've got a pretty strong idea of who is going to be in the first team. Players like Ryan Woods, Aaron Wildig, Liam Lawrence, Mangan, who is put down as a striker there but can also play on the left, and Akpar Akpro, who can work well alongside James Collins up front. And I've got a pretty decent back four as well with players like Granderson, Gale and Goldson, so not looking too bad. Excited to get going here, and my transfer budget is £840,000 to play with. That's, wow, that's weird because I'm always used to being in the millions in a career mode on FIFA, and I've got a wage budget of £3,000 to spend. It's going to be difficult, so you're going to be looking at players coming in on loan. But my first game is a friendly. It's against Bristol City. That will be played at the Greenhouse Meadow. Looking forward to playing that. I'll probably show you guys the highlights in this episode as well. And our next one, we're playing away against Vitesse. And then we finish up our pre-season back at home, back in the Greenhouse Meadow against Başakşehir. Turkish side. I probably pronounced that wrong, so do excuse me if you know the correct pronunciation. My first competitive game though for Shrewsbury Town will be away against Luton. That's where we kickstart our campaign in League 2. Then we're playing in the Capital One Cup against Charlton. Huge game that. And then on that Saturday we're playing against Oxford. Then midweek after that we're playing against Plymouth. And then we finish up that week against Morecambe. Then we're once again in another domestic cup competition. This time it's the Johnson's Paint Trophy. We're playing Crawley. And then we finish up the month of August against Bury. Then the transfer window will slam shut, and we just continue on with the season then. So with such a small budget to play with, I've got to be very careful. My first player that I was looking into was Tom Eaves of Bolton. Now, Tom Eaves does have a little bit of a history with Shrewsbury Town. He was on loan in 2013, but that was only for a month, and then he returned to Shrewsbury the season after on an emergency loan, I believe. And then they later extended that to the rest of the season. So anyway, I put in a bid of $210,000 for Tom Eaves because Scott Vernon is getting a bit older now, and I thought, well, you know, if this is going to be a long-term career, then Scott Vernon isn't going to really be lasting that very long with Shrewsbury. He'll be retiring soon. So I thought, well, Tom Eaves at the age of 22, why not? And he's a pretty decent centre forwards, and I think he would be able to complement Akpar Akpro and also James Collins as well up front. I did also go after MK Dons' Dele Alli, another good youngster at the age of 18. He's got loads of room for... he's got loads of potential. I then went after another Bolton player. I know. Don't worry though, I'm not going to be going for all of their players. I just went after Josh Vela at the age of 20 because at the start of this career mode, I'm not sure if you guys saw that earlier on in the episode, my assistant manager was like, oh, you need to get a new midfielder, and I think Josh Vela will be able to fill that gap nicely for Shrewsbury Town. Then it was, as you just saw with Dele Alli, it was on and off with MK Dons, the deal. Eventually I did accept their request to spend 350, so splashing the cash on him, really taking a risk, but you know, I'm pretty confident that he will pay off for Shrewsbury Town as we go through this new season. So I offered him 4 years, 750 quid a week as an important first team player. And our first game, as you know, our first pre-season friendly was against Bristol City, and you'll see the team that I picked for this just going all out and just seeing how we could get on. And I think you're not going to see the actual lineups. No, well, I did go with James Collins and Akpar Akpro up front, and Ryan Woods and Wes Lewoski started in central midfield. Now, with Ryan Woods, pretty versatile player. He can play in central midfield, he can also play as a centre half and as a right back, so we could be calling upon him throughout the season if we pick up a couple of injuries along the way. Hopefully we don't, but that's FIFA, you know, it's bound to happen. We're bound to pick up a couple of injuries here and there, or if I was to pick up any red cards. Now, as you just saw, Shrewsbury Town did go a goal down against Bristol. I did think I clawed a goal back there and got the equaliser with a perfectly delivered ball from Knight, finding the head of Akpar Akpro, but the assistant referee calling for offside in the very last second. Disappointing, but it's just a pre-season, nothing to be concerned about, because I thought Shrewsbury's performance overall was pretty consistent and certainly showed positive signs of great attacking play. Now, after that pre-season friendly against Bristol, I did hear back from Dele Alli from MK Dons. He had accepted my contract offer, and so I accepted his transfer to Shrewsbury Town, so he is now part of the team. And the question is, how will Josh Vela and Dele Alli be able to fit in? Well, I'm going to be using a 4-4-2, pretty basic I know, throughout this first season. So I think for this first season it's going to be about rotation and seeing what works for Shrewsbury, seeing what works for me, and how we can better ourselves to get promoted into the next league and get to the Premier League. That is my main objective. Moving on then to our second pre-season friendly. This one was to be played away. We had some worrying signs early on. It was the 25th minute when Vitesse looked as though they was going to get the first goal of the game, but the ball went off the post. How they managed to miss that, I don't know, because it was an open goal. They then went on to have a couple of more chances on goal. I was a bit disappointed as you know, they was getting so close to getting the first goal in this game. In the second half, I did bring on Vincent. He whipped in a good, perfectly delivered cross, finding the head of Collins. He just headed it wide. It should have ended up in the back of the net, really. The game ended 0-0 though. Pretty impressed with how we held up in midfield. Defence looking a bit shaky from time to time, but I think we'll be okay as the season goes on. I was in the search for another player because I know we're a bit thin on the ground still for wingers, and I went after Jack Grealish of Aston Villa, seeing if I could loan him for the whole season, as he is looking like a very exciting prospect and definitely one for the future. I also went after Manchester United's James Wilson after Tom Eaves made his move to Leicester. Leicester managed to beat me to him, and I just couldn't compete because of my transfer budget, so I decided to let the deal go. And I did bring James Wilson to Shrewsbury Town. He is now going to be with the team for the whole season, and so will Jack Grealish. I'm feeling pretty excited now to get the season going with these new signings. Unfortunately, there will be no highlights of our last pre-season friendly against that Turkish side, as the recording messed up, so gutted about that. But we did win 2-1. And now the team are looking forward to the first competitive game of the season against Luton away. That's it from me then, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.